Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of WrestleZone, and today I am once again joined by your homie, the Gnomie, Gabby Forza. How are you today?
Wonderful. I could not be better.
I know, speaking of congratulations, first of all, because the last time I was talking to you, you were about a year out from your wedding. It has now passed. You are officially a married, well, I should say a married Gnomie.
Mer-
Um, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I kind of wanted to start off by talking about that. You got married to Bulk Bronson with a spooky wedding theme from what I saw. So tell us about your wedding.
Oh man, it was the most perfect day. We had all of our loved ones there and I it's our favorite holiday. So we like it's funny when someone asks like, "So what is what's your dream wedding?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared to say this." And I was like, "My dream wedding is a Halloween themed wedding and I don't want to wear white. I want to wear black." And thank
Yeah.
God I married the perfect person that was so excited about that. So I had like no pushback about it. He was so excited and it was just our dream wedding where everyone looked amazing. He looked incredible. I loved my dress and very long, like cathedral black veil, and it's very dramatic and perfect for us. Very, very lovely.
October 27th, right? I think it
Yes,
was the last
yes, it
time.
was.
Yeah, right before Halloween. That's something I haven't really thought about, like what my wedding would look like. But I mean, we were talking about it last time. My birthday's right around Halloween. I love spooky season. It's like in my
Yeah.
blood. So like that might be something I might consider it too. Did you guys like do like a traditional wedding apart from the theme? Or like how did that work out for you guys?
So, we did not get married in a church or anything to
Okay.
like my grandmother's dismay, but that was the only person that like really cared because we're
Okay.
not, I was raised like Catholic, but never followed up on that.
Yeah.
So it's for us, it made sense to just get married outside, which is what I
Hmm.
wanted so bad. I wanted to be under the sky. And it could have been in a backyard, it could have been literally anywhere in the woods. I did not care, but we got married at a venue. So like it was super easy to get married outside, then you go inside the party. It was
Yeah.
sick. It was so perfect. But yeah, we had our friend Dan Barry marry us, which was he's never done that before, but he's a
Okay.
comedian, he's a wrestler, he's known Bear way longer than I've
Hmm.
known. I knew Dan longer than I dated Bear, so to me it was like I've not known Dan very, very long, but for as long as I've known Dan, he's a great person, great friend, the funniest guy in the world. And we were so excited when we sat him down on a double date with his wife, and she helped us plan the whole thing. And we did not plan things like in a timely fashion. So it was like 3 months before the wedding, and we're like, we really forgot to ask Dan. We just assumed like he would
Yeah.
be available, and I think he had to cancel a booking in order to make our wedding. So it
That's
all worked
true
out.
friendship. That's how you
Yeah.
know that's true friendship right there, Gabby. Now,
Yep.
if you don't mind me asking, and totally okay if you would rather keep it private, what song played for your first dance?
It was Everything Everywhere by Noah Kahan or something like that. Great song. It was like, it's basically that you're going to decompose together.
Okay.
So our whole theme was like, till death do us part,
Yeah.
until we're ghosts. And so we had, instead of like a bouquet toss, we made t-shirts. So it's ironic that a lot of the wrestlers wound up with the shirts because there are only like 10 of them. And we just threw them in the crowd like a basically like a hockey game
Mhm.
t-shirt toss.
Yeah.
And they say till we're ghosts, Gabby and Bear. And it's like the cutest little shirt that like
Love
anytime
that.
I'm at a booking or like wrestling practice, I see one of them wearing it and it's like it's so fun. I love it.
I love that too. Yeah, even not even till death do you part. You'll still be together in the afterlife as ghosts. Duh.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Till we're ghosts. And then after that, whatever happens.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously you got to kind of celebrate it privately in Jamaica on your honeymoon, which I am so jealous of. Although I will say, I don't know if I could stand 5,000 feet elevation hiking the Blue Mountain rainforest. That waterfall though looked beautiful.
It
So
was
tell me
amazing.
about your hike up the Blue Mountain rainforest.
So, as you can imagine, a rainforest has rain. So,
Yes.
we were soaked the entire day and we did not really think about that. We're like, oh, we're going on a hike. Like, it'll be cool.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh, no, you're hiking in a rainforest. So, we didn't prepare. We were like drenched the entire day. Um, Going up the mountain, it was like the most narrow little roads that like it was so rocky that we were like, I don't even know if we're gonna make it to this hike. And by the time we got there, it was not a beautiful day. It was foggy, like you could
Damn.
barely see anything. The whole trip was really funny for us because it was us making the best of like maybe not the ideal circumstance for
Mhm.
someone else where it's like it's not a sunny day, it's not beautiful weather, but for us it was perfect. So we both love rain. We didn't mind the fog. It was like it made the whole experience way more spooky and like as if we were in like a horror movie. And there's actually a point in the hike where we're all like gasping for air because it's getting really hard and we're going like uphill a mountain.
Yeah.
And there's a tour guide, and he's like, I've actually never done this way. Are we lost? And Bear goes, you know what? I think we should all split up. And it was like the perfect horror movie trope. Everyone was dying laughing. It was so funny.
Oh my God. Are you much of a hiker, like in general?
Yes, I love
Oh,
the
you are?
outdoors.
Okay. So how was this hike compared to like your other ones, like your body responding to it and all that?
I would say I loved this hike more. It was challenging, like physically. I would put it at
Yeah.
like a moderate to difficult, which is how it was rated. So like I felt it was a
Okay.
fair rating. Bear was fighting for his life out there. He's a bigger guy, so he's not
Yeah.
really into cardio like that, but he did great. He compared it to like being on the Stairmaster for 2 hours. And I was like, that's pretty tough.
Okay. Except you might, I mean, depending on the day, you might have a better, at least you had that waterfall, despite it all. Like that seemed very beautiful, at least
Yes,
towards you reached that. It paid off
exactly.
is what I'm getting at.
Always does.
Um,
So that was
But
cool.
but that was not the only time that you guys kind of spent around the waters. I was very jealous of your little night swim in the luminous lagoons at the glistening waters.
Yeah.
So I was reading your post. I mean, I don't know how it works, but you were talking about like if you kick the dirt, it like loses like the light loses its luster or something.
Yes.
So can you like tell me about that? Tell us about the luminous lagoon. It sounds so
Yeah.
mystical.
It was. So the second I heard about this, I was like, we have to go there because I need to
Yeah.
see the luminous algae. And it's really just like phosphorus, whatever chemical that like
Okay.
if you are basically as you're swimming, if
Yeah.
you're like violently disturbing the algae, which sounds so mean to the environment,
Mhm.
but there it's okay. So
Mhm.
as long as you're swimming, the water will light up. But Bear is so tall that if he just stands in the lagoon, he's kicking up dirt and we can't see the glow. So
Yeah.
I had to keep like lending him my life jacket because it's tiring swimming that long. This trip was very strenuous. It's so much adventure, so much fun. But yeah, so the algae as you're swimming and just paddling your arms, it disturbs the algae and you start seeing this bright blue glow all around you, and it's so cool. You have to be careful with your legs that you don't dangle too
Yeah.
low. So yeah,
Huh.
that's the
That's
thing. It's so
interesting. That
cool.
seems that it seems so cool, especially at night when I'm guessing it's like the most you can see the light the most in it.
Exactly.
Um, I'd be like, how deep? Do you know how deep this was? Like, obviously,
It was
bulk.
like,
If he was reaching the bottom, probably maybe like 6 feet something. I don't
yeah, it
know.
was like 7 feet about. We're
Okay.
like, we're under the water a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, not that deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you did do some, I guess, non-strenuous activity. Well, you did get muddy in the buggy, as you put it, but you did get to see some birds at the Sun Caw I saw it was called. How was that experience? The non-strenuous activities. How were the birds?
The birds were the best. I'm not a bird person, so I was like, I'm not scared of birds.
Yeah.
I don't love birds because my grandmother growing up had these two mean parrots that would bite
Mm.
me all the time. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't like birds. But there were very sweet birds there and they loved us. I think they just love people and there aren't that many people
Mhm.
there. So we walk into this, it's a waiting room. So we weren't even planning to see birds. They were just like, oh yeah, like while the buggies are getting ready, you guys can go see the birds. And we thought we are gonna go walk outside and like look for birds. Instead, they're like, no, go walk in the enclosure. And you'll see birds. And we're like, okay. So we walk in the enclosure and we're like swarmed by like, I want to say like 50 birds each, where I
Oh
had like
God,
three on
it's
my
probably
head.
overwhelming for you.
It was crazy. And I was like, at least they're being nice, so I'm not scared. But
Okay.
it was a lot at once and it was a surprise. So that was the best part where
Yeah.
surprises I don't love, and Bear knows that about me. But when like life surprises you with
Mhm.
something, it's like, this is great. I did not expect or plan this. So this is great. We love that.
Well, you survived, which is great and all that. So maybe take a little bit of step. Maybe it took your fear away a little bit. I'd get that though, because I'm afraid of bees because I was stung by a bee when I was younger. So I'm
Ooh,
like, nope, nope, not at all.
nope.
So maybe it helped a little bit, even though it was kind of a lot, I have to imagine. But at least they were cool. So shout out to the Jamaican birds out there for keeping Gabby cool.
Absolutely. It was like exposure therapy.
Now, I'm just selfishly curious. Did you try any new food while you were down there that you had not had before?
I did. I had authentic Jamaican jerk chicken, and I had festival for the first time, which is like a fried dumpling,
Oh,
which it's a little like sweet, a little spicy, very, very good. What else did we have? We ate a lot.
yeah.
The fish there was amazing because it is an island, so it was
Hmm.
all fresh fish, which was the best. So
Sounds really good.
yeah, it was really great.
Yeah. Obviously you guys had that time. Now you're back in action, back on the road. So I wanted to start off, you know what? We'll start with your first match back because I see you making some headlines, some buzz throughout wrestling at just off coming off your honeymoon. It was you and Bulk versus the Y2 cuties, Becca and Aaron Rourke at Beyond. And you had an interesting interaction with Becca that was followed by another interesting interaction between Aaron and Bulk. So
Yeah.
tell us about that moment.
So, man, at our wedding, literally like I think right after me and Bear's first dance, there was Aaron Rourke and Chris Statlander dancing together and getting real cozy with each other. And I was like, we already had that Aaron Rourke is married to Becca. And they were
Yeah.
already at us on social media that they beat us in getting married, just like they're going to beat us
Hmm.
at Beyond Wrestling. And I was like, you are being bad, Mr. Aaron Rourke, dancing with another woman. And so it came up at the when we wrestled where Bear had some tea to spill, a TMZ scoop. And that's what kicked off the match where we informed Becca that he was not being loyal to her as husband and wife. And then she spilled tea that Bulk and Aaron Rourke were together that night, the night of our wedding. And then that led into a whole upset where Becca felt if they could kiss, we should kiss. And then that was a whole thing and it led into the match. So we did get to kiss and it was wonderful. Great kisser, 12 out of 10. Good job, Becca. And then Aaron Rourke and Bulk Bronson kissed again. And they kissed, I think, way longer than we did and got real handsy with it. So I think that proves everything we need to know about what happened at our wedding.
So Aaron is actually Bulk's partner first, is what
I
I'm gathering from this.
I believe so. And honestly, I
Mhm.
see it for
Yeah.
them. Good
Okay.
for them. The better kisser won.
Well, I'm glad to see you
Fine.
supportive of this relationship.
Of course. He came out as bi this year. I think that's his
Yeah.
first male kiss since then. And
Yeah.
hopefully it validates everything.
Absolutely. I love that you guys can have that openness with each other. And obviously, wrestling kind of blurs things, but you're still having fun, and especially coming back. I think that was also Becca's first match back in like over a year.
Yes.
So, what a way to kick off both of your returns to wrestling. I'm just saying.
Honestly, yeah. It was very true. It's very, very true. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was
Hmm.
very fun. A lot of drama. Main event. Main
Yes.
event. So that was a big return for all of us, I would say.
It's funny too because you had that, and then obviously a couple days later, Aaron got some really good news. Aaron was announced as one of the first WWE ID signings. So how you've obviously worked with Aaron, you might have seen Aaron at your wedding doing some things with your husband. But what are your thoughts on Aaron being announced as a WWE ID prospect?
So proud. I've we've I got to wrestle at Limitless Wrestling, and that was like my debut, but it was also with
Yeah,
Aaron Rourke, Evil Gay, Dime Piece, Perfection Personified, all the things. He is the best. He deserves it more than anyone I could possibly think of. And I, even if you just look at his year leading up to that, it's like if he wasn't amazing, you were wondering like when is that person going to make it? Because it was just meant to be. It's meant to happen. I'm so happy this opportunity is presented to people like Bryce Donovan, Aaron Rourke. They're just like it's so overdue. So I'm very proud of him, and I definitely it's nice to see someone that it was their dream their whole
yeah,
lives, and they put in the work. They don't like complain about the hard work they have to put in. They're just like, no, this
yeah.
is my dream. This is what I'm going to do. And whether it works out or not, I'm going to give it my all because, I need to, the rest of my life, I have to live with myself knowing that I did or didn't make it. And it's not because a lack of effort. It's like,
Yeah.
it's opportunity meets preparation thing. So he was prepared for the opportunity. He got the opportunity and it was always knocked out of the park. And knowing that we were his last match before the announcement means a lot.
Yeah. Who knows what the future holds for Aaron Rourke? You should also be proud of yourself, though, because you recently marked your 100th pro wrestling match at Blitzkrieg Pro, where again, you and Bulk took on the Shook Crew. You did not win, but I do have to imagine that there's still a sense of that pride in knowing you reached a milestone, 100 matches in like a year and a half. I feel like is impressive because that's more than a match a week actually. And considering you spent like 3 weeks off in between your wedding, so like you're doubling up some weeks as well. So tell us about reaching that milestone.
Oh man, that was my goal like from the beginning. From my first match, I was like, I want to get to 100 matches and I don't know how long it'll take, but
Yeah.
sure, by 100 matches, I'll have learned a lot. I'll have become a better wrestler and faced a lot of opponents. I don't imagine 100 matches will be against the same person over and over. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of opponents to thank, a lot of promotions that took a chance on me early on and just kept bringing me back. So I've been really lucky for all of that. And it feels really good. So I was really proud of myself, but now I'm excited for the next 100. And it's a great victory and I'm really proud of myself. But I was like, oh, I know some people, everyone always compares themselves. I'm like, like a lot of wrestlers get 100 matches per year. So maybe next
Yeah.
year, get, like really get busy. But this year there was a lot of life to enjoy. And I had to find that balance between
Yeah.
being super busy. I also got hurt for a little bit and then did not want to take time off because I was like, I'm gonna have time off for the wedding. I want to
I
get
get
back in
it.
the ring
Yeah.
before I have to take time off. So I was slowed down a little bit, but everything worked out how it was meant to.
Yeah, and again, you should be really proud, despite, you were working through injury, you're booked and busy. And last year we were talking about you were what, 6, 7 months in? It was around this time last year that we talked. You were
Yeah.
nominated for Rookie of the Year,
Yeah.
in PWI. This
Thank
year, you were on the PWI Women's 250 list yourself at number
you.
115. And just a year and a half into the business, you're already being ranked. So you're elevating and heading in the right direction. What was your initial reaction to receiving this honor, and what did it mean to you? Congratulations. Not a lot of, especially like considering it's really still it was still your rookie year during a lot of this.
Yeah.
Um, to earn it that fast, it doesn't happen often.
Yeah. I mean, I was hopeful. I was like, man, I would love to have, my name was in the PWI for the first time ever last
Yeah.
year. And that was when I think like candidates came out, it was like I was 5 months in and I couldn't
Hmm.
believe it. Someone told me because I wasn't looking, I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that. And that happened. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. And so when I realized that happened, I was like, oh my God, the women's 250 list would be like my next goal to make
Yeah.
that list. And then it came out. Bear and I were scrolling along, and we started from the bottom, like 250. And the higher we went, I saw like even more wrestlers that I look up to. And I was like, I am not going to be above this person or this person. So we just kept looking, and I was like, it's not looking good. And then we got to the hundreds, and I saw my name, and I was like, that's crazy. So I couldn't believe it. I was really humbled and like, there's a lot of amazing women's wrestlers in the world right now. Like, it's a really hot time to be a wrestler. So, the fact I was that high on the list for women's 250 was hard to believe. But I'm very, very, very grateful, very thankful. And I really do think like all the opponents that I've faced so far that like bring it out of me, and hopefully I bring it out of them too. It's been cool.
Next year we got to get you to that top 100.
Oh my God,
That's the
yeah,
next goal.
that's a
I
great
think
goal.
you're on track. Like I said, I mean, granted, I there's been many years that I haven't followed, but I have to assume it's probably a rarity to have somebody be on like a prestigious list like that and only less than 2 years in. Like it's probably a very rarity. So you're probably part of an exclusive club with that. So you should be very proud of that, Miss Ma'am. Um, and obviously, now we're heading into 2025 is right around the corner. Literally, what even? So I have to imagine you and Bulk have been doing some more tag team stuff lately. Obviously, you're a single star as well. So what are your goals heading into the new year, both personally and professionally?
That's a great question. I just had a promoter that I adore working for message me that last night. So I have actually just been thinking about it, where this year it's been a lot of throwing myself to wrestling and
Yeah.
just seeing what happens, giving it my all. And I do feel like I may have lost a little piece of myself along the way. So I am excited to have that awareness as I step back to it and try to like continue to be who I am through as a wrestler and bring that and not lose that along the way, because I do think it's really easy to get so caught up in being a wrestler that you forget
Mhm.
that like who you are. So
Yeah.
I think that is what made me stand out from the beginning. And that is something I don't want to lose the more matches I have and the more people I face, where I want to be the Nomi forever. So I'm working on a few little things. Like I just started working on a new pair of shoulder pads. I've been like slowly improving them along the way. I love having new gear every few months.
Yeah.
I Gnomes are a holiday thing where I think as of now, like the past few years, they got really popular, and you'll see a gnome out for every holiday, whether
Yeah.
it's the New Year, it's Christmas, it's Hanukkah, it's Halloween, it's Thanksgiving. There's gnomes for every holiday. So I try to reflect that in my gear now with basically seasonal gear, or every few months having a new set of gear.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy. That makes me love what I do and love putting on that outfit. But I'm also a very strong person. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now, where I feel like I may have lost a little bit of my strength and muscle. And so now I'm really doubling down on my diet, nutrition, and just being a better athlete, and not just being strong for a person or a woman. I want to be the strongest version of myself, which I feel like I have not been. So now that's like my next 10 weeks. I'm actually on a strict routine right now where I'm in 10 weeks, I'm going to be a whole different animal. So I'm very excited to be the next version of myself, basically. That's my big goal for the new year, is be stronger, be better, but not compared to anyone else. I want to be my best version of myself.
Well, I hope you know that if you plan on celebrating Thanksgiving, that the calories on that day don't count.
It's true.
That's all I
Very
have to
true.
say. Like enjoy that day, and then, you know, then
Yes.
you can move along in your obviously your journey that you were talking about. But this will be coming out next week, the first week of December. So when this comes out in a couple days, then at that point, you will be returning to Uprising to Chicago, where you will be taking on Shazza McKenzie and Ivy Malibu in a triple threat action. I think this is your first time sharing a ring with both of them.
Yup.
Obviously Shazza is from Australia, based around the St. Louis area. Ivy's kind of everywhere in the Midwest. What are your thoughts heading into Uprising and your return?
Oh man, I'm so excited for returning. Also, that match. There was a match. It was the week before I got hurt. I was so upset. I had to
Uh,
go, but I was supposed to return in August, and it was supposed to be a triple threat with Ivy also and
uh,
Zamea, and I was so excited for this like powerhouse match. I'm glad it like we didn't ask, but I'm glad we get to the opportunity to do it now. So I think Shaza is a really amazing wrestler. I
Great.
cannot wait to face her in the ring because I've built like a rapport with her outside of the ring, but I know she's got a lot of years in the game and a lot of wisdom. And so I'm excited to see what kind of magic we can work together. Ivy, I think, is such a sweetheart, but she's also a little powerhouse in her own
Yeah.
way. So I love her look, I love her style, and I'm really excited to see how we all blend together in a triple threat.
Now, from what I understand too, I think this is Chicago is the furthest west you've performed. You've obviously been around a lot the Northeast, sometimes even Ontario. So you will be returning. Are you looking to maybe this is something in the new year? Are you looking to expand even more west, like West Coast, maybe even Texas, like and all of that? Are you looking to expand even further west?
Big time. I feel like I started kind of traveling more in this
Yeah.
year by like opportunity, basically, where they needed someone. I was like, I will get in my car right now and drive there. And that's how I debuted at AIW in Ohio. And that was my
Yes.
longest drive from New York to Ohio. And I've done that a few times since. And I love that place. I cannot wait to go back. Again, it was like, it's the same thing where like, I think this happens to everyone where injury kind of puts you on the sideline for a little bit. So I had to like say no to a few things that I did not want to say no to. But now that I'm all better, again, I want to get stronger, just kind of build that momentum all over again that I had earlier this year. And I don't think I lost it. I just had to like kind of assess where I'm at and get
Yeah.
myself back to where I want to be. But yes, I do want to get back to branching out to the Midwest and that other side of the country that I haven't as much. But I did hear word that like my name is getting out there. So there are promotions that I like are dream promotions for me to work at and wrestle at that know who I am at least. And I'm like, oh my God, it's right there. I can tell. So I
Mhm.
think this upcoming year is going to be, as long as I'm ready,
Yeah.
the world is not ready, but I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Well, then looking ahead, who are some competitors from, say, Chicago West, even like South? Who are some competitors from that half of the states that you may be keen on working with?
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a few in like Texas or like I don't know exactly where they're from. I just know where they wrestle. So like Maya World, I'm gonna butcher everyone's name
Yeah,
because they're
Texas,
like,
Maya World. Yep.
yes, awesome. Her name is like Roden, like her name is like the athlete or something. Do
I'm
you know what I'm
thinking of J Rod. Jessica
Yes,
Roden, J
that's
Rod.
right.
Yeah.
That's it. I think
Yeah.
she isn't. So it's a lot of the women wrestlers that end up at Uprising and Dreamwave.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
pretty much
J Rod's at Dreamwave a lot too. Yeah.
that's yes. I'm so bad with names. I can like see their faces
Yeah.
and everything about them, but yeah, pretty much everyone in that locker room at Uprising. So being able to continue going back there and keep wrestling even better wrestlers, and I've been lucky to mix it up with like Megan Bain, Masha Slamovich, and they've had incredible years.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to keep like branching out into more fierce ladies, really.
Hmm. Well, hopefully, obviously, we get you back at Dreamwave Uprising. We get you out to Texas is huge. There's so many amazing companies out there, the West Coast along Cali and even up to Washington and Vancouver. You've wrestled in Canada, so that's always a possibility as well. So fingers crossed we get some of those. I would love to see you in Maya World. I mean, J-Rod is at Dreamwave practically every show, so I feel like that's just natural to happen. At some point, they just need to keep bringing you back as well.
Yes. And
Um,
I think the other two, I just like, as I stopped talking, of course, I
sure.
remember Brooke Havoc
Oh
and,
yeah.
of course, I stopped talking. No, oh, Billy Starks. It almost
Oh
happened.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then again, like injury, but
Yeah.
Billy Starks, Brooke Havoc, and the other two that I said.
I love Billy.
Oh my
Love
God.
Brooke too. Brooks had an amazing comeback. She was injured. Then it's been about 2 years since she made her comeback. She's just been unstoppable, especially along the West Coast. But she's been branching out too, back to the East Coast, like Florida and coming to New York and wrestling and stuff. So she's come to your part of the woods as well. So
Oh,
maybe she'll come to you. Maybe you'll go over there. We'll see.
it'll happen.
Um But at the time of recording this, it is going to soon be Christmas season. So I wanted to close out with some holiday themed questions, if that's all right with you. So kind of starting off, would you say you're a festive person overall?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what would you say is the most interesting holiday? Well, now that I'm saying this, it's going to be something gnome related as on this. But what would you say is the most interesting holiday decoration that you own or are preparing to put out eventually?
My most interesting are my snow globes. I have four gnome snow globes, a collection that I hope to continue growing. And they're pretty big. They're not like small.
Mm,
They're like this big each. So they're pretty big. And I haven't quite found the spots for them yet.
mm.
But they're usually there's a gnome in the middle, a little
Yeah.
mushroom house, and a few of them have like sleds, things like that. And they're pretty sick. It's my favorite.
Okay. Well, I want to know, obviously get through Thanksgiving first. But once you put those out, I want like you better send me a photo or at least upload it to social media because I want to see them. I want to see
Absolutely.
them. Maybe even get one of my own. Where do you get them from? I'm curious.
Well, actually, a lot of my gnomes are gifts. So
Okay.
it's
Fair enough.
really
Makes sense.
sweet that I love unique no I was saying I love
Yeah.
unique gnomes. So there are
Yeah.
so many gnomes. I don't have two of the same. Even if they look similar, they're different. So there's
Hmm.
always something different with my gnomes. But I would say Halloween is my favorite. So that's why I have so many Halloween gnomes.
Yeah.
Like witchy, spooky, Franken gnome. Even this
Yeah.
mug is a good
I
display of
love it.
that's my contribution. And that's why I have Franken gnome gear and a few of those.
Yeah.
I'm excited to keep expanding where, oh my God, a dream set of gear would be like Valen gnome. Valentine's. That would
I was
be,
thinking about that. Once Christmas and New Year's passes, it's kind of Valentine's Day season, so like something to think about.
yeah, big in love. And I love the color red and pink.
Yeah.
And just, oh my God, that'll be the cutest set of gear I think I
She's
can think.
wearing pink today.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Bear was wearing purple, so I had to like kind of match him.
Got you.
They're cute.
Now, what would you say has been your favorite holiday memory, either from childhood or adulthood?
Good question. So I think my favorite memory would have to be all of them are with Bear, and we've been together for three holiday seasons now. So 3 years,
Yes.
a girlfriend, a fiance, a now wife. Um, his family is like the perfect little hallmark straight out of the movie where I think this weekend we'll probably all get together and like decorate the tree and it's a whole thing where I guess decorating the tree is like probably my favorite. It's something I never did with my family.
Yeah.
So doing it with his family where they pull out like the oldest falling apart pieces of ornament
Yeah.
where it's like, be
Yeah.
careful with that.
Be
It's
careful. Yeah.
27 years old. It's like this was my first ornament and it's like popcorn from 2002 and I'm like,
Oh my
this
God.
is so funny. And I
Yeah.
that's my favorite. Just the past few years with them has
Yeah.
been
Just don't break anything, Gabby. Just be careful.
I'm trying my hardest.
Now, final question. I am a big like I've already started watching the Christmas movies. Or no, yeah, I almost thought I said Halloween. Like I'm still in like Halloween mode. I'm not even gonna lie.
Me too.
Like for me, I still had my Halloween stuff up until like last week. I'm not even gonna lie.
I love that.
Personally. But Christmas wise, holiday wise, do you have any like go-to Christmas movies that are like comfort movies for you, like go-tos? I don't know how much of a movie person you are.
I'm a big movie person, but I'm
Okay.
also a child. So of
Okay.
course you'll appreciate this. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a Christmas movie, but Corpse Bride also, because it's around like it's snowing. It counts.
Yeah.
So I'd say those are my two favorite Christmas movies, even though they're not really Christmassy. But I'm more of a I love that time of year, and if it's Christmas, that's fine as like a backstory. But Bear is more of the big Christmas guy. He's a big Christmas guy. He's very cute. So
You
he's just
know,
new Christmas movies all the time.
yeah,
Like
there's
Jingle
a
All
bunch
the Way.
that have been coming out on Netflix that I've been watching. There's a new one that comes out tomorrow with Lindsay Lohan, so I'm looking forward to seeing that one. There's some good ones on Netflix this season if you're open to it, or maybe Bulk is already on it and he's be like,
Yes,
"We're watching this."
he definitely is. Oh my God, there's this amazing, it's a scary movie. It's a Christmas movie. It's
Okay.
like that's like kind of my genre. Like if it's
Hmm.
cute and Christmas, love it. There's a
Yeah.
gnome, perfect. Something's in the barn.
Mm.
It's a scary Christmas movie about gnomes. The perfect movie.
That's like, did you ghost write that movie?
I
Like
did.
that's too on the nose for you.
It's too
And
perfect.
yeah,
So
interesting.
that is
Two on the gnome. Um,
exactly right there. So it's everything
mm,
you could possibly love, and literally the whole time I can't wait to watch it this season. But the whole time Bear and I were watching it, I'm like, this was made for me. This was made for me. And it's so good because it's perfect with the gnome lore, and it's
yeah.
like you're not even like the gnomes are not the enemy in this movie. You can clearly tell it's like it's not them, but they're the villains. Like if you
Mm.
see it, you'll get it. But gnomes treat people how they're treated. So if the gnome is being mistreated, it's gonna turn it up like crazy and kill your dog, but not because they want to, it's because you need them. So
It's called Something in the Barn.
mhm.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check this out. It sounds very
It's amazing.
interesting. I
It's
love
very
that.
funny, but also very scary, and you'll be like on edge.
I'm down for it.
It's so
I'm
great.
down for it. I love scary
Great
stuff.
Christmas movie.
I don't think I've watched like a scary. I mean, do you count like Nightmare? I know it's not really scary. Although, okay, so honestly, I saw Nightmare Before Christmas for the first time last month. Like ever.
Wow.
I did enjoy it though.
That is, I mean,
I
I
know it's
would, yeah,
crazy. I know I'm late to the game.
that's crazy to me.
I'm
But
late.
welcome to it. I'm glad you got to
Yes.
experience it finally.
Yes.
Better like,
Um, can I make one suggestion to you and you can choose to it? My favorite Christmas movie, it's a comedy. It's the Christmas Vacation is the funniest Christmas movie. I love it. I think it's from
I've
like
never heard that one.
87, 88. It's so fucking funny. And there's obviously some like suggestive themes in there and it's just overall hilarious though.
Wow.
So that's my personal favorite one. I think it's an underrated one too as well.
I love
So
I, so,
if you like a comedy, that I
yes.
would say that one. Try it out.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So,
I'll check it
um, thank you. I appreciate it. And I will check out Something in the Barn because that sounds really cool and mixing together. I will always think of you when I watch it because it's like it's really too on the nose. It's
out.
kind of creepy. It's like perfectly you.
It's so good. It's so good. I love that movie. But yeah,
Now,
I'll
obvious
check out your movie. You check out my movie. It'll be great.
deal
Deal.
bet. Now, obviously, before we let you go, can you please let the listeners know where they can find you online and support you?
Absolutely. So I still have Twitter. I'm probably gonna stay there, but I also made the Blue Sky. On
Mm.
Twitter, it's the underscore Gnomie, Gnomie. On Instagram too. On Blue Sky, I don't think I was allowed to keep the underscore, so it's just the Gnomie straight through, same spelling. And that's it. So you can find me.
Well, and obviously keep following Gabby for her work through the rest of 2024. If you're checking out Uprising, that's going to be December 6th. That's going to be exciting to see her facing off with Shazza and Ivy, and obviously throughout 2025 for more matches with bulk and singles competition.
Yeah.
Gabby, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's a pleasure as always.
Thank you for having me.